All right, so this is Math Counts 2013 sprint round from the chapter competition. We're going to do the whole 19 through 24 whole page here. All right, Mr. Mayfield is designing a sign for his ice cream shop. I don't like ice cream, but I'm assuming you do. The sign will be the shape of a semicircle and an isosceles triangle that makes it look like, shockingly, a cone. The plywood is 2 by 4, and it tells us that it's in a ratio of 3 to 1. And this is right in the middle, so that's 1 and 1. Okay, so the area of this triangle is 1.5, 1.5. So that means the whole thing is 6. 2 times 3 minus 3. So this area is 3. Okay. For the circle, we know that this radius is 1. So we have pi r squared divided by 2, because it's only a semicircle. The radius is 1. All right, so we have, we just have pi over 2. Well, pi is 3.14, so that is 1.57. All right, so we have 3 plus 1.57 rounded to the nearest tenth. Ooh, nearest tenth. So that would be 3.57 rounded in a sense is 3.6. Oh my God, that's 4.6. 3 plus 1 is 4. That is embarrassing. That's how mistakes happen in competition, isn't it? You're going so fast, you don't even think twice about it. Oh boy, let's hope I don't make the same mistake again. Let's do this. Much better. A state license plate contains a state logo in the center, preceded by 3 letters. So we have 3 letters. You figure at some point I would stop doing that. 1, 2, 3, and they're letters. 1, 2, 3, and these are numbers. And it says if the first 2 letters must both be consonants, excluding y. So that means there are 20 options here. And can numbers and letters repeat on license plates? Absolutely. So we have 20 times, and this one can be anything. So that's 26 different letters. There are 10 numbers, 0 through 9. So let's multiply them together. So this side here is 1,000. This side's going to be 400 times 26. So 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6 is 4. Carry the 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. Plus these two zeros. So this multiplied together is 10,400 times another 100. And then we get 10,400,000. All right, a right square pyramid has a base perimeter of 36. So 36 divided by 4, because there are 4 sides. So we each know that each one of these is 9. And a height of 12, so the height is 12. At 1/3, so 1/3, this thing happens. All right. So that means it's at 1/3. That means this has to be 8. The lower has to be 4. Okay. And so 1/3 of 12, or sorry, 1/3 of 9 is 3, right? So then we take 3 off this side to get this side, because this is 2/3 of the pyramid. So 2/3 is 6, so we know that's 6. And we want to know the volume. Now, the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 length times height times width, or length times width times height. So we have volume is equal to 1/3 times 6 times 6 times 8. Okay, let's simplify. So we have 2 times 6 is 12 times 8, and that is 96. So the volume is 96. For number 22, 4 integers are chosen from 1 to 10 inclusively, with repetition allowed. What is the greatest possible difference between the mean and the median for the 4 integers? Well, the largest possible median that I can have is if I go 10, 10, 10, and 1, and the lowest mean. Or I could flip that. I could do 1, 1, 1, 10, and have the lowest possible median, and try to get the largest mean from that. It doesn't matter which way I do it, I'll get the same answer. So right now my median is 10. For the mean, well, I have 31 divided by 4, and it says common fraction, so I want to keep it here. And we want to know the difference. The difference means subtraction. So 10 in fourths is 40 over 4. I subtract 31 of them, and I get 9/4 remaining, which is the answer. All right. Mike and Jay. Okay, Mike and Jay. Mike and Jay were walking home with heavy books in their backpacks when Mike complained about the weight in his backpack. Jay remarked, "Oh, come on, you wussy. If I take one of your books, I will be carrying twice as many books as you will be carrying. But if you take only one of my books, you'll be carrying the same number of books." All right, well, let's make some equations out of this. If you take one of my books, so that means J, because J is the one speaking, minus 1, then you will have, if I, sorry. J says if I take one of your books, so J plus 1, because J is taking a book, then I will have twice as many books as you, which means J plus 1 has to equal 2 times the amount that Mike is now carrying. Mike is now carrying what he was originally carrying, minus 1. Well, let's do some math magics with this. We get J is equal to, so we get 2m, that's negative 2, subtract 1, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. So J is equal to 2m minus 3. Then for the second half, he says, if you take one of my books, we'll have the same amount. So that means J minus 1 would equal m plus 1. Okay, well, that means J would equal plus 2. All right, we have a systems of equations. Let's solve it. So we have 2m minus 3 is equal to m plus 2. Well, minus m, we get m plus 3, m is equal to 5. So Mike has 5 books. Incidentally, if Mike has 5 books, that means Jay has 7 books, which would make it all work. Oh, I love this. I love the Pythagorean theorem. It's so cool. All right, a right rectangular prism has a volume of 720 centimeters cubed. Its surface area is, I'll write this down because I don't want to forget, it's 484. And if all of the edge lengths are integers, that makes life much easier. What is the length of the longest segment that can be drawn that connects 2 vertices? Express your answer. Okay, so that means the volume is 720. Now 720 has a lot of factors, but I know this is the math count sprint round, which means it has to be, and I'm not looking for the actual dimensions. I have to do something with the dimensions. In particular, I need to find the longest segment that can be drawn to connect the 2 vertices. So that means it can't be super difficult numbers. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to say 10 is one of the dimensions. So if I go 720 divided by 10, obviously I'll get 72. Well, the easiest combination for that is 9 and 8, right? So I'm going to go with 10 times 9 times 8. Now, I don't know if that's right. I can't just launch in. I need to now figure out if this is the right thing. So I know that for the surface area, I'll have 2 times each of these side lengths multiplied together. right? Because I'll have each face will have, the opposite face will have the same area. So I multiply these together, I multiply these together, I multiply these together. Oh, look, it's my little frog ribbit. All right, so 10 times 9 is 90. 10 times 8 is 80. 9 times 8 is 72. So I add those together, I get 2 times 242, which is 484. Sorry, 484. So I know these are the right dimensions, which means I have this nice and I'm being asked to find the long diagonal. And the long diagonal is going to be from here all the way to here. Now, obviously, there are 4 ways I could do it, but let's just go with it. And there's an equation. The long diagonal is equal. Now, I could do the Pythagorean theorem, and I could do it twice over. I could find this length here and then use the Pythagorean theorem. But I know that d is equal to a squared plus b squared plus c squared, which does mean that d squared is equal to a squared plus b squared plus c squared, which is kind of funny. So I know the diagonal is equal to the square root of 10 squared, so that's 100, plus 9 squared, which is 81, plus 8 squared, which is 64. So that's the square root of, add those two together, and I get 45, 145, plus, so I get 245. Now, I don't know what goes into 245, that's a perfect square. But I know it ends in a 5, so I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to divide this by 5. 5 goes into 24 4 times, and carry the 4. 5 goes into 45 9 times. So square root of 49 times the square root of 5 will equal the square root of 245. Square root of 49 is 7. I can't do anything with square root of 5. And so my answer is 7 root 5.